A solemn and ceremonial military ceremony merging the eternal flame under the arch of the British era India Gate with the National War Memorial inaugurated in 2019 took place this afternoon. The National War Memorial, constructed at a cost of 176 crore rupees, spread over 40 acres of land in central Delhi, records the names of every Indian soldier who made the supreme sacrifice for the nation after August 15, 1947 till date. As the flame merged in Delhi, it ignited a political fire, with the Congress accusing the Narendra Modi government of trying to rewrite history. With full military honours and ceremony, the eternal flame at Amar Jawan India Gate was merged with the Amar Jawan at the National War Memorial. The ceremony marks the end of an era that started 50 years ago and the dawn of a new era. Amar Jawan was constructed in 1972 to honor the sacrifice of the braves who fell in the 1971 liberation of Bangladesh war. The eternal flame was constructed under the India Gate, built by the British to commemorate the sacrifices of those soldiers killed in the Anglo-Afghan wars and the First World War. The move to merge the eternal flame sparked off an angry reaction from the Congress party that accused the Narendra Modi government of trying to rewrite history, a charge stoutly denied by the government.
It symbolizes the valor and sacrifice of India's brave hearts. Can you envision Delhi? Can you envision national capital without the Amar Jawan Jyoti? Then tomorrow Modi ji will remove India Gate also. He is actually denigrating symbols which have become symbolical of our pride. They don't belong to any political party. Our soldiers belong to everybody.
The eternal flame that was placed temporarily in 1971, post the Indo-Pakistan War, is being merged with the eternal flame in the National War Memorial, which is where it should be. And so today, for a congressman to be criticizing that is really a situation where every countryman should ask the Congress, why did you not do for the last 6 decades when you were in government?
Congress MP from Wayanad in Kerala, Rahul Gandhi, took to social media platform Twitter to say he was saddened to see the eternal flame being extinguished. He went on to write that some do not understand the sacrifices made and that they would once again light the eternal flame. However, speaking exclusively to India Today, Lieutenant General D.S. Hooda, former Army Commander, Northern Command, said all ceremonies are now being held at the National War Memorial and it is only natural for the eternal flame to be merged.
So I'm not trying to sort of devalue India Gate, and it's an iconic structure. But now that the new War Memorial has come up, I think it's appropriate that we have ceremonies at that place.
The government repeatedly clarified that the flames were being merged and not extinguished. But the angry response from the opposition continued, with the Congress asking what changed between 2019 and now, when the Ministry of Defence had insisted that the eternal flame at Amar Jawan at India Gate would continue as it was a part of the nation's legacy.
The reality also is that the Amar Jawan Jyoti has special significance. I think generations of Indians have found pride in what it represented. To extinguish it or to shift it or to whatever, you are playing around with history. And I don't think any nation has ever built a future for itself by playing around with its history.
Merge kiya ja raha hai to honor all those who have laid down their lives. ये 1971 के तो उस समय जो ट्रिब्यूट थी यहाँ पे, अब तो एक वॉर मेमोरियल बनाया गया है जो उन्होंने 70 साल नहीं बनाया, वो हम लोग बना रहे हैं.
The National War Memorial was built in 2019 and has the names of every soldier who made the supreme sacrifice since independence in every war and even counter-terror operations. Visitors now pay their respect at the National War Memorial that honors every brave since independence and not just braves who were killed in the 1971 liberation of Bangladesh war. With Abhishek Bhalla in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today. The armed forces incidentally fought an uphill battle to get the National War Memorial. Let's listen in to General Ved Malik, former Chief of Army Staff. I spoke to him earlier today.
After decades of fighting with the government, the soldiers managed to get the National War Memorial. I know that for decades because I have myself gone through this struggle.
Yes.
We wanted to ask for a National War Memorial, and then it came up with the present government. Credit goes to the present government because after decades of our struggle, in fact, I know of many chief ministers of Delhi state who refused to give us land anywhere near India Gate. And there were many politicians who wanted us to shift the memorial either to military cantonment or far away from India Gate.
The question remains, what was the logic of former chief ministers of Delhi to deny army land or the armed forces land near India Gate to construct a National War Memorial? Let's listen in to late Sheila Dikshit opposing the construction of the National War Memorial, where it was ultimately constructed post 2014.
दिल्ली सरकार की, हालांकि हमारा ना तो वो ज़मीन है, ये है, हमें एक हिस्टोरिकल रीज़न की वजह से हमें इतना ज़रूर लगता है कि वहाँ मेमोरियल न बने, क्योंकि लाखों की तादाद में लोग वहाँ घूमने आते हैं और दिल्ली में कोई और तट नहीं है, कोई और जगह नहीं है, कोई रिवर बैंक नहीं है जहाँ लोग शाम को अपना अच्छा मनोरंजन कर लें, ताज़ी हवा खा लें। तो जब तक वो नहीं हो जाता है तो मेमोरियल तो कहीं पर भी बन सकता है।
So is there merit that the Narendra Modi government is rewriting history as claimed by the Congress? Does the eternal flame merging at the National War Memorial denigrate the contribution of soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives in the 1971 war? The question that's also being asked, can the two flames not continue to burn simultaneously? Let's explore answers. Joining me on India First, Air Vice Marshal Arjun Subramaniam, former fighter pilot and military historian, Guru Prakash Paswan, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Salman Nizami, member of the Congress party. Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam, is this move rewriting history? Does the move to merge the eternal flame take away from the sacrifices of our braves in the 1971 war?
Thank you for having me on the show, Gaurav. And it actually saddens me when this largely inclusive move has assumed a political storm for no reason at all. As a historian, I don't see this as playing with history or rewriting history. Come on, you've built a monument to commemorate 1971. It was done at that particular time. And now you have a National War Memorial that has come up to commemorate all those killed in action in the line of duty right from 1947 to now. And all what you're doing is saying that, look, we need to have a consolidated place where you can remember and commemorate all those who laid down their lives after independence in free India. And you have the India Gate, which commemorates Indian soldiers who laid down their lives fighting for the crown in World War I. So the two things have to be separated, and it's high time we clearly make a distinction between our colonial military history and independent India's military history. So there is absolutely no rewriting of history, and for heaven's sake, let's not politicize this whole issue.
That's a very pertinent point to make, Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam. Let's distinguish between colonial history and post-independence history. Salman Nizami, why is the Congress so upset? Amar Jawan was a temporary arrangement. Isn't it a shame, sir, that a temporary arrangement continued for close to 50 years?
Well, Gaurav, foremost, BJP has to stop faking history. You can't change history by removing Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate. It is sad for India, actually. The place had an immortal flame for our brave soldiers. for 50 years. It's being removed by BJP today. Second, you asked why. Why we asked. BJP has zero contribution to the freedom struggle of India. India gave its soldiers and its lives of patriots in World War. 1971 was the finest moment in India's war history. Indira Gandhi taught Pakistan a lesson and liberated Bangladesh. Now, we have no problem with the Jawan Jyoti in War Memorial. So why can't India have two eternal flames? Amar Jawan Jyoti and National War Memorial. And
Guru
third,
Prakash Paswan, respond to this. In 2019, when the government claimed, 2019, the government had claimed that the two flames will continue to burn eternally. Why shift the blame from Amar Jawan Jyoti under India Gate to the National War Memorial? And tonight, the Jyoti at India Gate is not burning anymore, sir.
Gauravji, thank you so much for having me here on this discussion. And this is completely an unnecessary, unwarranted controversy generated by the Congress party. And this is what we call Shahadat pe siyasat. The Congress representative on your panel, Mr. Nizami, was singing pains for Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Obviously, she was, and she must be credited for 1971. But the problem with that version of history is that we don't remember who the defense minister was. If I can ask Mr. Nizami, who was the defense minister who played a stellar and a remarkable role in 1971 war, no one remembers him. And I have a fundamental problem with that. What version of history are you propagating, sir? It was Babu Jagjeevan Ram. But in your quest of writing history and giving credit to only one individual, only one family, only people with one surname, people of India can no longer be fooled. As far as the question of flame is concerned, it is definitely a Sangam, it is definitely a village, it is definitely a merger. There is no question of that. And Congress party, Gauravji, of all the stakeholder has no locus standi. If people like General V.P. Malik, who fought the Kargil war, if people like General Huda, if people like Lieutenant General Satish Dua, they're in support of it. The entire military fraternity are in support of it. What moral authority, what locus standi has the Congress party to speak on this issue, Gauravji? I seriously don't understand. You want to propagate your version of history, where you want to promote only one person as a hero and do not want to share this credit with anyone else. It was Babu Jagjeevan Ram who must be equally credited for that 1971 war victory.
Response, Salman Nizami. The version of history that the Congress is protesting, according to the BJP, is that that victory was because of Indira Gandhi. The BJP says not a single soldier's name is mentioned at India Gate. 71 war victory soldier. Not a single name mentioned at India Gate. All the names are there at the National War Memorial.
Well, first, everybody knows the contribution of late Madam Indira Gandhi. Actually, our focus should be on our borders today. Indira Gandhi broke Pakistan into two pieces. What Mr. Prime Minister did. Today, China is still inside our borders, in our territory, and Pakistan is still there in Kashmir, trying its best to do attacks in Kashmir.
So protest that. Why are you protesting? Why is the Congress protesting the memorial is what I want to understand from you. But Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam, more than 90,000 Indian soldiers were killed in action in the First World War and the Anglo-Afghan War, the Third Anglo-Afghan War. British made a memorial with only 13,218 names. Was Amar Jawan Jyoti in 1972 a temporary arrangement? And as an air warrior, should the question not be, why were we making do with a temporary arrangement for close to 50 years?
I won't, first of all, Gaurav, I don't know what this discussion is about. This discussion is not about the national security challenges that India is facing. It's not about what Pakistan or China is doing. It is about a fundamental issue of how we look at our history and how we remember those who were killed in action in the line of duty. Now, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, was constructed ironically, and I don't know, and I don't think it was done intentionally, but that's how I used to see it whenever I used to pass by it. I said, the Amar Jawan Jyoti is constructed in the shadow of the India Gate arch which actually commemorated soldiers who fought for the crown. Yes, they were Indian soldiers, no doubt, but it was still a colonial. It was still a colonial structure. The second question I used to ask myself that what about those killed in action in 1947-48? What about those who laid down their lives in 1962? What about the 1965 war? Why was there no memorial for those? And therefore, I also looked at the Amar Jawan Jyoti as, yes, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of sacrifice in 1971, but I was really looking for an inclusive national war memorial, which did come up. And then if you have to transfer the flame from the Amar Jawan Jyoti to the National War Memorial, I repeat myself again, I think it is inclusive and it has nothing to do with denigrating Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And incidentally, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi did play a stellar role in the 1971 war, but it was a whole of government approach. So where is the debate and unnecessary politicization of the whole thing? And it doesn't do justice to even those who are serving currently and all those who have been killed in action. It doesn't do justice to their legacy.
Oh, indeed it doesn't, and you're absolutely right. You're spot on, sir. Salman Nizami, the demand for a national war memorial was made in 1961 in writing. No war memorial for soldiers, as the Air Vice Marshal very correctly pointed out, who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives in 1947-48, for example, or in 1962, or 1965, or Operation Meghdoot at Siachen, or Op Rhino, Op Rakshak, Op Cactus, and so many other operations that our braves have fought in. It took the Narendra Modi government in 2015 to clear a national war memorial and dedicate it to the nation in 2019 with close to 26,000 names of our soldiers killed in action since 1947. So, sir, are you shedding crocodile tears today?
Well, who fought and won against Pakistan? It was the Congress government. And it's shameful that
so it's not the soldiers, it's the government that fought.
This government is erasing India's finest or in post-independent history. If we remember, in 2018, it was decided to have two eternal flames, one at the Indian Gate and one
so you're very carefully sidestepping my question. Memorial. Why did it take 60 years for a national war memorial to come up? Why were we making do with a temporary structure since 1972?
No, Congress doesn't need certificate from BJP. Listen, what RSS intention is to change the history. They don't believe in constitution. They don't believe in democracy.
Sir,
they seem to
you
be
heard the Air Vice Marshal, and I would give more weightage to military historians' views than political views. But I still want to understand from you. What is this controversy all about?
Taj Mahal, they can build. What is their contribution? Why don't they go to the borders and fight with China? Why they are silent?
Guru Prakash Paswan, opposition says we aspire to be a $5 trillion economy, and yet can we not pay for eternal flame to burn at two places, at Amar Jawan Jyoti and at the National War Memorial?
Gauravji, the representative of the Congress party is not making any sense to me. Whatever you are asking, he is just deflecting. There was not a single war memorial, not one national war memorial, not one national police memorial. It was for the Narendra Modi government. In the last 7 years, we saw the culmination of these two very important, very crucial projects, National War Memorial and National Police Memorial. And Congress party actually has no locus standi. It was the BJP government under Narendra Modi ji to implement one rank, one pension, the military modernization, and so on and so forth. After the abrogation of Article 370, please, Mr. Nizami, look at the data. Please look at the data. There's been a reduction of 80%
visiting Pakistan uninvited, but not uttering a word against China.
You were speaking on democracy. Now you're not letting anyone speak. What sort of hypocrisy is this, sir? You want to speak, but you don't want to listen to people. That is precisely the problem with the Congress party. If you speak, you must have the grace and the patience to listen to other people as well. Now coming back to the point, it was the BJP that implemented one rank, one pension. After the abrogation of Article 370, please look at the data of peace and stability in Jammu and Kashmir.
No, but I want to give the last word to Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam as I wind down this debate. Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam, Amar Jawan may have been a temporary structure in 1972, but in the past 50 years, many, including some veterans, argue it's come to symbolize our salute to the valor and sacrifice of our braves. Could and should the government have said eternal flame will continue to burn both at Amar Jawan and at the National War Memorial, sir?
Frankly, that's a difficult question to answer, and I'm sure that the decision to consolidate the eternal flame at the National War Memorial must have been taken after close consultation with the service chiefs, with a whole lot of veterans, and I don't think it is something to lose sleep over. I mean to say, if the Amar Jawan Jyoti is slated to incorporate any other legacy of India's struggle for independence or India's military ethos, so be it, and that will be decided, by the government. I'm sure in close consultation with the service chiefs. And I don't think, I don't think we should take it so far so as to make it an ego issue, one flame or two flames. Come on, that flame is to commemorate people who have been killed in action. Let's not split hair over one flame or two flames just because it gives political mileage or political sanctity to a monument.
I will let that be the last word on the show. Guru Prakash Paswan, Salman Nizami and Air Vice Marshal Subramaniam, many thanks for joining me here on a very sensitive issue. But as Lieutenant General D.S. Huda, former Army Commander, Northern Command, who incidentally wrote the military strategy or the doctrine for the Congress Party also before 2019 elections, as he told me, this is natural progression, moving from Amar Jawan now to the National War Memorial. It's a very natural step. A quick break. Coming up on the other side, Montek Singh Ahluwalia exclusive in conversation with Udyan Mukherjee on Business Today. Stay with us.